This is what I was talking about. Sidebrain's Drift Presets Volume 1.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody is like scared of drift or like it sounds poopy, this is going to change your mind.
It's actually pretty juicy.
He did a really good job, I feel like, making some really fat bass synth sounds with this. Shout out to Sidebrain. Also, I was going to tell you guys, if you're free, shameless self-promotion, if you guys are free November, the weekend of the 8th, you should definitely come to Ableton's headquarters. This is like an early announcement. Sidebrain, a.k.a. Yuta Benatar, is going to be hopefully presenting again at Ableton's headquarters. We're doing like a weekend retreat.
Berlin?
No, in the U.S. headquarters.
In the U.S.
In L.A.
Yeah. California.
Yep. You guys should totally come. It'd be fun. It's going to be really good. We have Flostradamus locked in. Got Chuck Sutton, a bunch of really cool people, super talented Ableton gurus that'll be just hanging out at Ableton's headquarters. We'll have a big after party. We're going to do a live episode there with Tony, the CEO of the US for Ableton. Should be really fun. This is your episode. We don't have to talk about stuff I'm doing. I want to hear more about you guys and projects you're working on. I love having my friends on the podcast. I just want to say that because you guys are homies. And thanks for having me out to your debut of the Missing Reflections album release show, which was at the Larimer Ski House. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah, when was that?
A few months ago. Yeah.
That was so fun.
It was a light release.
It was a fat release, dude. You guys crushed it.
And yeah, you too. You brought out guitar and sax and all this stuff.
Well, to be clear, I don't know how to play those instruments. I played drums. I brought people who were more talented than me on those instruments to play for me to make me look good. But that was a lot of fun, dude. We had a great time.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I love the tracks you guys have been working on. So for anybody who doesn't know you, Missing Reflections is a combination of SayWhat, that's you, Jordan, and then Tyler, Adriance. Love the stuff you guys have been cranking out. I was telling you the song Control on your debut album of Missing Reflections is like I sing that before I go to bed in my head, like every night, whether I want to or not. One of those songs that gets stuck in your head.
I told Tyler that same thing. And he was like, I made this song. I don't like it. I was like, I love it. So yeah, we worked together on it and finished it up. I think, yeah, it landed in a good spot. It's one of my favorite songs as well.
It's a very good song.
All the time.
I mean, that just goes to show that if you have a really good melody, it doesn't matter about all these other little finer, super tedious details. If you have a really good, catchy melody, like people are going to love it. They're going to sing along.
Yeah. You know, it was like a throwaway to me. I was like, hey, you want to touch it? All right.
Yeah. That's how it goes, though, sometimes.
And now you're falling asleep to it.
I want to talk a little bit about like your background. How did you guys, first of all, meet? And what made you guys come together to make music?
We used to play shows out in college together. I was doing a little production in high school, started messing around with GarageBand and then Fruity Loops, then was using Reason, rewiring Reason into Ableton. That was like my introduction to Ableton was rewiring Reason. I used to love like the Maelstrom and like the arpeggiators and sequencers in Reason. They were really nice, and I was addicted to that kind of sound, and I was, listening to a lot of like UK dubstep at the time when I was that young. And
we're talking like 2009, 2010.
Yeah, and like I'm a jam kid. I came from like Soundtribe, Fish, like Disco Biscuits type.
Really? I never would have guessed that.
Crowd, but it was like the late night scene of that, so like I'd go to those shows, but I'd go to the late night, which is where I discovered
go see Eodo after
Eodo, like Spork, Vibe Squad, all that stuff, and that's where I discovered Pretty Lights. I was like the Trilogy Lounge in Boulder, and watching them play, and then at Cervantes, and I was like, who's this guy? And like touching boards and like restarting loops from like Big L, Flamboyant, and like I grew up skating, just like mashing all my favorite hip hop songs, and I was like, what is this? Like, I love this, so I started messing around with gear and programs and kind of stumbled into Ableton eventually. And then,
what year was that when you got into the Ableton Live stuff?
Like 2007, 2008. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I remember like back in the day, I mean, kind of same. Shout out to my friend Kyle, who introduced me to Ableton, and I convinced him to go to college with me, and we started making music at our dorm. And somehow, some way, got asked to play a show And so we opened up for like Candyland, I think it was. It was our first show. I found Tyler just as a friend through college, and
What college was this? Was this
Fort Lewis College in Durango. We met through mutual friends, and then got to a point where we were playing shows with each other, not with each other, but like opening for one another, like playing at a bar.
Yeah, just
One after
happened like
another.
that. I was like, whoa, your music's really good.
I thought this. Always appreciated him. He's playing keys. He still to this day says, I don't know how to play an instrument. And then he lays down super dope keys or like super good drum tracks.
That sounds like Tyler. He's trying to be humble.
Yeah, trying and then fail. I mean, he does a good job of being humble, but
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you too. But yeah, so I mean, that was 14 years ago, 15 years ago.
A long time.
And yeah, then just recently, I mean, last year, we reconnected for
How'd we reconnect?
I don't even
How did that happen?
an unknown reason.
I don't know how that happened. It must have been one of those things like come over to my studio. Like I've been grinding hard. Like
You've been grinding hard, dude. You release more tracks probably than most people I know, which is kind of frustrating. It pisses me off because
Dude,
every
he
time you release
finishes
a track, I was like, I need to step it up.
As a musician, everyone knows it's hard to finish tracks.
So let me like probe into that a little bit. How do you know when a song is done, and where do you get to the place of where you are like, okay, I need to finish this off. It's finished. How do you get to that place?
I'm going to preface by saying that he just does it in one session. Everything he does is just like a quick finish this song.
Does that include like mixing and mastering? Because that would be insane.
Sometimes. So I think like that comes from a place where I don't think it's ever done, but I think I like
never done.
Nothing's done.
I think I don't like sitting on stuff too long. Some things I do. I might sit on it a little bit longer, but I enjoy like hyper productivity and like doing things in one session. But I think it comes down for me as like happy place and fun. And if I'm not having fun and it's not my happy place, like why am I doing this? Like whether it's big, it's not big, famous, whatever, hitting big stages, people are dropping IDs, whatever.
Yeah.
But like fun and kind of like the secret art of not giving a fuck. If you mean what I mean, I care about the music a lot and I want it to sound good, but I think like I don't harp on it too much. And when I'm really indulged in an idea and I'm like working on that session and it's like that super flow state. I know it's hot. It's really good. One of my most recent songs, I was flying out to Croatia and I made it on the plane. You know, all the sound design, all the synths, everything. You know, all from scratch.
One of the coolest fucking songs
Drum
I've
tracks,
ever heard.
one of my more favorite tracks. And like, it wasn't even done in a studio.
Yeah.
You know, and I love my studio because I'm in like my surroundings, my area. I love it everywhere I'm at. But I think I try to like let it go before it is done.
Yeah,
because it is done.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've taken away from Tyler is just like getting things done quickly so that you like working on the same song over and over and over again in multiple sessions starts to make it not work as well. Like if you're always constantly trying to finish this one song, if you're focused on this one song, even if you like let it go and then revisit it later, you never get to that point where you're like, it's done. But finishing it quickly and being done with it, like that's something I've taken away from Tyler in my own personal project. Like I try now to take that and get a song mixed, mastered, ready to go in a few sessions,
and
like one or two,
like we'll revisit them plenty of time.
Oh yeah, he's on mastering version 17.
You know, it's like V17. You know, don't get me wrong, we definitely revisit them, but like, you know, we go back through. I would say like
be quicker about
three nice sessions, like 3 nice 8-hour, really dialed in sessions, not one sloppy session where you're not very tune. Or, it happens. Sometimes you just need to play around with sounds.
I'd also say like a routine is a main thing, like staying on a routine to have a consistency. So like we meet up every Wednesday is our day to meet up and make music. And whether it's, okay, we're playing the show coming up, work on our set to make the set happen, the consistency of every single Wednesday, we meet up. And whatever our priority is, whether it's new music or a set or a visual, like we have Keep the Dream Alive visual set coming up. It's just like a consistency getting on that routine.
Yeah. No, that's really good. You got to show up, I think, if you want to enter that flow state. I don't know if you guys have heard of the newer book by Rick Rubin called The Creative Act.
I'm reading it right now.
Me too.
Me too.
Dude, I'm halfway through. It's so good. And he
All right.
talks about that as just like
Source material.
Just
all
showing
that.
up is the hardest part. Get into that place where you show up without expectation. If you can think that you can only make great work in the best working conditions, then you're already kind of setting up for failure.
Right.
Like you were on the plane.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just started making
Yeah.
music on the plane just because you were loving the opportunity just to make something. And, I talked to Rob Late on the podcast. He wrote a song in a coffee shop using AirPods, not in the best scenarios, like super loud, chaotic coffee shop using
sometimes getting out
AirPods.
of your normal place is the
And
best
he made
place
that
to
track for
get.
the Chainsmokers.
Wow.
And made probably some pretty good money off of that track, and not the most ideal, perfect studio setup or whatever you want to call it.
You don't need that, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, that comes, it always drills down for me is like my mantra, happy place.
Your matcha, like
Happy
your green
place.
tea matcha?
Happy mantra.
Okay.
Mantra.
Because I do like matcha.
Happy
That helps.
place. Like,
But
like happy place, man.
Yeah.
And
I have an old friend. He's 77 years old. I talk to him all the time. Old guy, really cool guy, 77-year-old ex-convict, real smart. And that's what we talk about, happy place. When we talk about music, and it's like, happy place. Why are you doing it?
sometimes your happy place isn't always your normal place.
No.
Like it helps
And
to break
that's-
free.
If I always say that, that's when the best music comes out.
Yeah.
When I'm just making what I like, making what I love. It doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing, what studio I am, what kind of headphones I have, what kind of studio monitors,
Right.
gear.
Yeah.
You're
just making
whatever.
space and showing up, and that's what matters. Yeah.
The type of sounds I like, and to people like making music without gear, you don't.
Yeah.
It's nice to have gear. Trust me.
It always is nice.
It's very fun to have a stack of modulars and everything you want to play with. But trust me, it's just happy place. And when you find those, that sound, that sample, that drives, that feel, that exact, when you're watching that movie and it's like, oh shit, that's what I'm talking about.
It's funny. I barely have used my music studio recently. First of all, I'm moving right now, so everything's kind of chaotic. But once I thank you.
I'm also getting close to that.
After linking up with Tyler again, it's like even before I was moving, just barely touched my studio because his studio became my happy place. Like it became a place that wasn't what I was used to. It was less chaotic. It was more of what I needed to be in that creative space. And then I'll transition to saying it really fucking helps working with someone else that you really, really, really vibe with. Because there's times, like I said, every Wednesday we link up. There's times where I'm like, I'm dead today. I can't contribute. But it's a schedule. Other times that he's dead that day and can't contribute. And so we have these songs that back to even Control. It's like he made that song and hated it. And I loved that song. And I was like, can I touch one thing about it and make it a Missing Reflection song so we can release it? And so that's on our released EP.
Monophonic Rainbow.
Monophonic
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting name. That's
that's the song that Control song was on.
Yeah.
And we kind of just pushed that out, It was like we were having fun, just making music together again.
Happily ever after. I'm a firm believer that the energy you put into your creative flow or your work is translated to other people and they feel that as well. So whatever you're feeling in that moment, I think Quincy Jones called it the It was the goosebumps test.
Mm.
And if you get the goosebumps when you're making something, chances are other people are going to feel that too.
That's how I pick samples. When I pick samples, it's and it may not do it to somebody else, but when I'll flip through, I don't know, like 100 things, whatever. It doesn't matter until I find the thing
The one.
that I'm like, and it may be that day,
Yeah.
how I'm feeling, whatever.
Sure.
It's different.
It changes. Yeah.
Like last night, I found a certain sample, and that was the one.
Where do you typically find your samples? I'm curious.
Sample makers, vinyl, a lot of vinyl.
Really? You do a lot of vinyl ripping.
A lot of vinyl ripping
As
off
of
MPCs
recently. or even like old songs, old shit.
YouTube.
Old shit we know. Like one of our most recent songs was Carole King. It's like a old classic. Used AI to take apart the sample, like take apart the vocal.
Do you have a favorite like source separation?
I used La La AI.
Me too. They sponsored the podcast back in the day.
We had what was the one you were using for that?
I used to use, honestly, I stopped doing too much AI stem separation. And I started finding samples that were samples.
Well, yeah, and then he got another vinyl record player.
It's called Fader. So Fader is inside of Ableton. You drag it on the track, you let it read the track, and then it's separate. You can do
like
whatever separation you want.
It's a plugin?
It's a plugin inside of Ableton.
FADR?
FADR, yeah.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah. But we're not,
that's all right.
You don't use that much anymore, right? Like,
not too much. I honestly try to find samples where I can sample the sample without any interrupt.
The best case is when you can just find a vinyl that has that backside that has instruments and vocals separated.
Or the drums are gone.
Yeah.
Or like in that sample, it's just vocals. Like I'm trying to find those cuts that I don't have to separate or...
It's got space already that you can work with.
There's frequencies I don't like
100%. Sometimes it can get really weird, especially if you got a bunch of
artifacts are what makes things super magical too.
Artifacts,
it's like those little fucking
It's true.
accidental
The imperfections.
Yeah.
I might even find an old record that was 50 cents and the record's completely fucked up. So I'll go back to YouTube and I'll rip it off YouTube.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of stuff on YouTube these days, acapellas and stuff people are uploading.
Last night, I ripped this one off YouTube last night.
Do you guys want to chug a little Magic Mind shot?
Magic Mind. Shout out Magic Mind.
Shout out to Magic Mind. Thank you for sending us these.
Of course. Thanks,
Get those nootropics. Mental performance shot.
Love it, baby.
Sharper mind, calm energy.
Absolutely.
Not really sure exactly everything that's in it, but it makes me feel good. I'm curious, when it comes to your production workflow, how do you balance your individual strengths and weaknesses in the moment? Because there's times where I've collaborated with people in my studio, and sometimes you feel like you hit a wall. Sometimes it's like, I need somebody else to take over. And it's nice to know who's good at what sometimes.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, there's times, even just days like we have this, weekly Wednesday we connect on. There's times when I'm just completely locked in and Tyler's not feeling it. And there's times when he's locked in and I'm not feeling it. There's times when we're both locked in and I'm like, get out of my way so I can do what I'm hearing. But in general, what's great with working with Tyler is most of the time I'm like thinking of what I want in my head and he's already doing it. Like we just collaborate really well together. Like we're both just kind of on that same team and it's really nice to have that dynamic.
It's very cohesive.
One thing I'd say too is like
amazing.
Tyler, I mean, we're both nerds when it comes to the tech and what we can do with Ableton and what other VST plugins are available. Tyler definitely just nerds out and buys more than I do.
So basically, Tyler is a plugin slut. That's
and
what I'm
he
hearing.
gives them to me.
Plugin slut. And an Ableton device slut, too.
And now, there's so many like individual Ableton devices built within Max for Live, and like everything's just available within Ableton. Like he's a mixing and mastering genius. He mixes and masters most of our tracks, and found. I don't remember who made it, but a certain Ableton specific only Ableton devices mastering device that you can tweak and modulate to your needs. And like now I master my own shit, but he masters most of our shit. Like
Yeah.
So yeah,
A couple racks where you can do it all in house. You know, I mean, I do everything through Ozone, Gold Clip, God Particle, Fab, Pro MB, Pro Q3. What else is in there?
We did nerd
There's-
out a little bit at my place last time you were over
yeah,
about some of the mastering chain stuff.
Yeah.
there's more in there. I love Ozone. Ozone's
Ozone
Clarity,
is- yeah,
their
shout out Ozone.
stabilizer, Gold Clip, Ash from Acoustica Audico is wonderful.
What is
I've played around with stacks, clippers, maximizers for a while, but
I have to be honest, I've said this on the podcast already, but my favorite clipper is still Ableton 12 Saturator.
really,
Yes, dude.
I need
it's
to hear more
honestly
about
sick
that.
once you figure it out.
It's so good.
Go check out Ash, Brainworks, True Peak.
You put on Isotope Ozone, and it's all of a sudden like the latency that happens once you do that makes it
Lot of look
impossible
ahead.
to.
Well, even the look ahead can cause some latency too.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like too much.
I mean, oversampling as well and all that stuff. It can add up for sure.
But you know, a lot of Ableton stuff in my rack.
If you guys were on a stranded island and you can only take a couple Ableton stock devices with you, what would you take?
That's a great question.
Echo for sure.
Echo for sure.
Dude, that is probably out of that question I've asked everybody on the podcast.
Stereo beat cutter that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
What is it?
there's a one knob stereo beat cutter. I guess it's not technically one knob, but stereo beat cutter used to exist in like Ableton 8. And it is basically just a knob that you can twist to. It's actually just a preset of beat repeat. It is something that doesn't exist anymore in Ableton. When we first started making music again together, he was like, "Hey, do you have any
It's a rack.
access to
It's a rack
stereo beat
preset,
cutter?"
basically.
Yeah, I stole it out of one of his old projects. I was
But
like, "Yo, send me
there-
that project."
There's just one. Yeah, what is it? The grid. Grid is the one we
Yeah,
modulate.
it's not even showing up in 12 right now.
It's not there. It's
It's
gone.
not there. Yeah.
So what do you
So-
use it for again?
So it's
Like chopping, like like cuts, like
Like beat repeating.
Yeah, it's a beat repeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's on grid with where you put it, and then the intervals, I guess, is the one thing that you would modulate. Otherwise, like honestly, we only ever use
Could
the.
you play it
grid.
for us? I'm curious to hear what it sounds like. Like if you just throw it on something, even the master doesn't matter. It doesn't have to sound great. I'm just curious to hear what it sounds like. Okay. So it's basically got a dry and wet signal. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So what it does is it takes in that intervals is at 1/8, and then grid. So because grid is lower than the intervals, once you get to where grid is higher than the intervals, then it starts the beat repeat. So
Give me nice loud chops.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard you use that live.
yeah,
The Prob Cause show you guys play it. I heard a couple of those.
yeah.
So you use that as like a rack on your master just to do some
Exactly.
stutters.
And then the other one is like a fade to gray, one knob fade to gray.
yeah, I made one of those for myself too.
And that's just basically, yeah, it's a ping pong delay with a high pass filter.
Okay. And that's something you made, or is that a preset too?
I think Fade to Gray's been there for quite some time.
Yeah.
Been there since I started. Yeah, it's been one of my favorite effects for forever.
Yeah.
Cool.
You mix those two together with the beat repeat and the fade to gray, and yeah, that's when you
This
can
is
get
all
some
live set
really
stuff.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is actually we're looking at a live set you performed.
Yeah, this is what we
all
played at the
live set stuff.
Fort Collins show.
Yeah. That was a great show. That was a really fun front
Thanks,
set.
man.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You guys
love
have
stuff.
you have a sound for sure that's styled. I think that's something a lot of people have a hard time finding.
Yeah,
Is there
that's
own-
something like we would definitely are diving more into is like what our formula is, what our sound is like
You can
getting-
turn off that effect and just keeps delaying.
It's gonna keep going for
It
like.
fades
Just
to
give it
gray.
like 20 more seconds.
If you double tap the stop button, it always stops.
does fade to gray.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Still going.
yeah. I was like, no.
That effect's like screw you.
Yeah, well, that ping pong will never stop. So
Never stop.
Yeah, that new sound, man, is like a
new disco.
115, 110, 120. Like, disco, electro, crusher, bass shit, and then we halftime it. And that's kind of like the new MR stuff. We haven't released any of it yet, but
we have
that's the new
six
MR
songs
stuff.
released, and then 7 or 8 more that are ready to rock. But
Okay.
most of our new direction is that most of our missing reflection is that 110 to 120 kind of like almost house pop
Nice.
drop dirty halftime at some point.
Exactly.
All right. So now the next question. Speaking of Ableton Live stuff, are there any features you wish Ableton had?
Oh man, I wish I had time to think about that before right now.
Well, I sent you an email if you'd have read it.
Sorry.
EQ8. EQ8. I wish EQ8 didn't have to be linked to like envelope followers, things like that. So you could do resonance suppression.
Side chaining.
But you can with the newer envelope follower. If you look at the newer envelope follower, it has a side chain built into it now.
Sick.
So you can.
I got 12.2 like 2 days ago.
One thing I
nice. Yeah, so you can
think
side
we
chain.
both would say is like side chaining in Ableton, like as a real side chain, using a compressor as a ducker, but like
I use like Soothe and Fab a lot. I do a lot of spectral Fab EQ sidechain. The nice thing about Fab is it shows me frequencies that are clashing with each other. So I can see in what frequency zone they're clashing.
Where there's phasing, where
I can easily sidechain frequencies out with spectral EQ because it's showing me every instance of Fab on every instance of every bus.
That is cool.
That filter is nice.
So like if Ableton's EQ8 could show me instances of every other EQ8 on every other bus so that I could see problem frequencies.
Yeah.
Like how Soothe does.
Ableton stock. Like it's amazing. It's like anything I can, when I'm mixing, I stay in Ableton stock as long as I can.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I bust out a bunch of other shit. But
yeah.
Their multiband compression is great. It's not very intuitive in the way that you look at it. I
like the update because they opened up some of the hidden windows in 12.
I was gonna say I haven't checked out 12 yet. 12.2 yet.
Yeah, because now like some of these aren't hidden like the attack releases. Some of this is more laid out for you, so it's easier to see.
Yeah, I'd say like dynamics too, like it being able to like how Soothe does, like dynamically tracking EQs and ducking certain frequencies.
Pro MB I use a lot. Pro MB allows me to do certain things in certain frequency zones where I can cut them. Same with, Soothe. I use Bloom a lot too.
Bloom, yeah, dude. I've heard so many good things about Bloom. I need to hit up.
I honestly don't use it as much as you would think, but I've been using it a little bit more for things, and the results are nice.
Do you ever use TrackSpacer?
I don't use TrackSpacer.
Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite simple plugins.
Show me TrackSpacer, please.
This is basically it right here if you're looking at the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got literally one knob. This is how much sidechaining is happening between these frequencies. So you've got your lows, use the low high pass filter and a low pass filter.
Basically your mid pass.
So it really only gives you one band. It'd be really sick if TrackSpacer gave you multi-band.
Yeah, or if it could do dynamic.
But if you need something really simple, and I find the latency is pretty good on it.
Yeah.
It's really low latency. I usually, a lot of times when I'm trying to like say if let's pretend this is like a synth and there's a vocal and the synth is like kind of fighting it a little bit, then I'll put this on the synth and sidechain it over here to the vocal.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like usually hit it around like between 20 to maybe 30%
dial in that ratio. Yeah.
And it sounds very natural. And I really use this probably in every track I've released in the last year.
That's a good tool we should look into.
This is by Waves Factory, is the company.
Okay.
But it's like, I think it's on sale right now for $30 or something.
That's sick.
Really
I've heard a lot about TrackSpacer, honestly.
There's like a big variation in like how we go about making our music too. Like sometimes it's completely analog, like we're using synthesizers and only the push. You have the push 3, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So we're using like the push 3 analog synths and basically barely touching the computer.
Okay.
And then the other times where we're dialing in MIDI and doing automation, hand clicking every single change.
Yeah.
There's like a huge variation in that, and that's what makes things like Soothe and what is it, Pro
Q, and like here's my master rack. It's like I'm basically running. So I was talking. Shout out homemade.
Spaceship.
Shout out homemade.
Yeah.
So we were chatting at Pretty Lights, right? And I was like, yeah, like I don't really mix on the like I do a lot of mixing on the buses, of course. I do a lot of mixing on individual tracks, and I've just found a lot of what I do. Shout out. You start producing with a utility on your master. Put that utility.
The beginning of the chain.
Just at the beginning of making any track, your default track on Ableton has a utility at +8 dB. Leave it there. Start producing with the utility on +8 dB. Produce everything. Just watch for clipping. You've already got that 8 dB of headspace. Just don't clip. You can clip a tiny little bit.
Honestly, I clip the hell out of my master now.
Yeah. And this is how I've got my stuff sounding great lately.
Okay.
And after talking to Rob, I was making music 2 nights ago. And so I started doing what Rob was telling me. And I was like, okay, this is dope too. I was like, shit, I got it sounding pretty fucking nice. It's popping. Like, so I produce on that, and I always leave like -8, -6 headspace. But if you produce with that utility already on, just turn it off when you're done.
Yeah, and then you've got all that extra.
Your headspace is
all you
there.
gotta look for is the red. And if
That makes sense too, I guess. Like, yeah, because if you
Now you can go into your buses. You can start clipping. You
that
can
makes
limit.
sense. I do the same thing with a limiter on my master already boosted when I'm producing, and then I usually turn it off and I clip instead at the
Yep.
end. So you got that headroom back. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like what we use now, what is it? Ducker. Who's that by? The Ducker.
This is wonderful.
GM Audio Ducker.
The GM.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gave it
it's
to
right
me.
there
I
on
sent
the
that
right.
to you.
So I was using
Bottom right.
Duck Buddy 2, which is nice.
Nice.
I use it for other things, but the GM,
Audio Ducker.
Yeah, it's real nice.
That's
It's
my
the
favorite.
It doesn't work too
real
well.
side chaining.
like when I'm side chaining, like my delays, like my send delays or my send echoes, I don't use the GM too much.
What do you use?
I use more just Ableton
Compressor.
stock glue compressors or Ableton stock compressors.
Yeah, I use the Live 8 compressor because it's got the FF1 modeling.
It's a little it's smoother.
It is a little smoother, and it
Actually.
doesn't have the pops or clicks if you have a really, really fast attack.
The GM's
we-
Yeah,
you're
GM's
like,
great.
damn, this
Lean
motherfucker's
towards
clean.
Yeah,
the
for
glue
kick and bass.
compressor.
Yeah, for kick and bass, I GM Audio Duck.
Kick, bass, claps, snares, things like that.
And that's literally is what makes such a big difference that like the average listener doesn't care about or hear, but that's what makes it sound good.
If you want to see that Ducker, here's that Ducker right there.
Yeah, that thing's great. I've talked about that on the podcast quite a bit.
Ducker,
Audio Ducker, yep. That's
solid.
the go-to for me now.
It's good. I usually post mixer too as well.
But Master Rack, I'm running my Fab Pro Q into my Pro MB into a glue into Soothe. This Soothe is what is Soothe doing?
Dynamically.
So that's
pushing
a
down.
preset and Soothe from Balance to the Grammys that I basically rebalance.
So when you're going minus on the depth of Soothe,
Yeah.
Let me open that back
you're
up.
actually kind of boosting than you are actually reducing.
Correct.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people get confused with that who have used Soothe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In this scenario,
I'm boosting there, yep.
There's another Soothe 2 later than Lux.
Soothe 2 later is just a de-esser. I'm running 2 gold clip clippers. I don't want to run them too hot.
So you're double clipping the gold.
I'm
clip.
double clipping. I'm working them less as hard.
This is version 17.3a.
Yeah, what's final?
you're
This
re-
is final Rag V2, but trust me, it's like version
I've
19.
seen him
The
with
final.
This is Soothe de-essing on the end a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yep.
Top,
de-ess.
Yeah, I do the same thing too.
And then,
But yeah, all the isotope stuff, ozone.
and then I ozone. This is my cleanup at the end. I'm running ozone with multiple modules. Their maximizer, their dynamic, their stabilizer,
Imager.
clarity, imager.
We accidentally reached like -4 LUFS on a song recently.
Accidentally. I don't know how it happened.
Well, whoops, we pushed it a little too hard.
Some people dream of that. I find that once you go past -5, you have to make sacrifices.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
was
I
actually
don't like
something
going that loud.
we toned it back. Like I listened to it on my phone and it was just
Yeah.
distorting.
And it's
Yeah,
all contextual, right? If you're making just like smooth jazz music, you're definitely not hitting -5.
No,
Like, not even close.
No.
Like it's all
Keep it at
contextual,
negative.
right? We're making like heavier, louder dance music here, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think
Competing for
-6 or
DJing.
-7 is like the magical zone for what
Yeah.
we're trying to do.
So I think that makes sense, But
I run Nectar on the end.
okay.
Nectar
Yeah.
does
Isotope
really
What do you use that
weird
for?
cleanup.
That threshold on
Usually
the
I
higher
run
frequencies.
it at about like just below, like
That's
right at like
That's
6.
compressing.
This is just a de-esser,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah.
So it's basically a compressor
And
then.
it's just like taking out these it's
The-
really subtle on how it takes out clicks.
And
Yeah.
what's dope is you can do the difference, or what's it called, the delta.
Yeah,
Hearing what is
Like,
being
here's
removed.
the delta.
That makes sense. I feel like it makes sense to do some like serial de-essing, I guess, depending
that-
if you're trying to get stuff really loud.
Yeah, especially when we're using like AI to separate stems, like with one of our most recent,
Get those
a
weird,
couple of our most
crunchy-
recent
Hear that,
songs. We have
Tiny?
those little
Those crunchy artifacts way up top.
right here.
Yeah. Interesting.
And that's like so minute, but like it makes a big difference.
nice.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have a sound. Another question I had was a lot of arpeggiated kind of really quick movements with like your bass lines or synths and stuff like that. When you're doing a lot of that kind of sample based stuff where you have all this movement happening, are you using Ableton's arpeggiator? Do you have like a go-to arpeggiator?
Yeah.
How do you-
Tyler thing?
Yeah, go ahead and answer that and then I have a follow-up question.
It's a max for live device step ARP.
The most of it on
Okay.
ARPs. I'm running Serum. I'm using the step ARP device
Yes.
through Serum generally because Serum has what I like are these multi-samples. So the multi-sample on Serum on each oscillator. This one, obviously, I'm not using. Am I using multi-sample?
it's just a wavetable.
Just wavetable. But yeah, generally, I'm using these multi-samples.
The main thing is that step ARP, which is a free downloadable max.
Got
device.
Nectar's.
Basic. So these multi-samples move around really nice. So I get like different little artifacts and like different oscillator
Every time the
sounds
MIDI note hits, it's a different
every time.
version of the wave.
Oh, so the waveform is moving and jumping around based off of like the position of the note. in
Yeah,
the
but the
MIDI?
main thing is that step ARP, which if
And
you,
I run them through Roar. Roar is my new favorite
Roar's
distortion.
sick. Well, that's a different thing.
The multi-band on Roar. Oh my god, dude! Like, stop, kill me now.
I mean,
It's so
Roar is
sick.
pretty cool, especially
So
with the update of 12.2 as well, because now you can go into Roar and you can adjust the feedback mode to be in key.
dude, yeah. So if you scroll to the left at the bottom there to see the step ARP,
Let's see the step ARP real quick. Talk about
there's
that.
this ratchet mode.
Ratchet mode's amazing. Chance, but yeah, a lot of it's through Step Art, Roar, Serum. I use obviously
So step ARP is
in packs.
It's in a pack.
It's
Yep,
a pack.
it's
Yeah,
in
it's a max
sequencers
pack.
right here.
So if you download the sequencers pack,
Yeah.
Free. Yeah.
you can
And then one thing I love about
Mm-hmm.
it is you can click that little dice button that you see in like 5 different locations, and it just changes
yeah, that's fine.
random.
Just randomizes the steps.
And then another funny thing about that is with ratchet mode, there's times if you pause the song, but it pauses at the time that ratchet mode is activated, it'll just keep going in ratchet mode, which I call my music ratchet jazz. So there's
Is that how you got it?
No. It was just funny that there's been multiple occasions where just making music and I'm like trying to just like pause, you're like space bar.
Yeah.
And I accidentally just lock into ratchet mode, and it's just like this amazingly beautiful ARP going on accident. And it's like, how do we record that? But not you. Like, we don't. All right.
Yeah, you could just create a new MIDI track, I guess, and do the MIDI in, and then just capture from that.
Yeah,
track
or
what the MIDI notes
resample.
or resample audio.
Utility too. That's how I set a lot of stuff in the stereo field with utility.
But yeah,
you'll see it in, you'll see it out. It depends. Bass mono on bass, but utility I use on everything.
Step ARP is definitely, I would say, something Tyler found and showed me and uses and abuses, and every single song that you've ever heard Tyler make has
it's sick. I love
an arpeggiator using step ARP.
Are there any other Max for Live devices that you can't live without or you really love?
Ducker, step ARP, utility. Roar is my new favorite jam. I stopped using Sound Toys. Decapitator. Now I just use Roar.
One thing they have that's really interesting is like note echo. It's not echo like we already said. Like one of our favorite effects is echo.
You want to pull it up?
But note echo.
How do you use that?
So basically, it's a MIDI device. So when you actually put this onto something, if you had a MIDI clip, you'd bring this onto your MIDI clip. Just see what it looks like, and it basically is a beat repeat.
Oh shit.
Or essentially the same concept as echo.
And it's for MIDI specifically.
This knob FLAC.
I'd never used that.
Feedback. Yeah, no echo's cool. I've seen some people use it. I've personally never used it.
No.
Same thing. You can automate all these things. You can desync it and then just use it as a time.
Can you double click the top of Ableton? It's cut off the screen right now. Just double click the top. Yeah. Oh, it's weird. Yeah, if you hit Command minus or plus, it actually shrinks or expands the entire Ableton view.
Oh, by the way,
MacBook.
Shout out Shift Command W.
If you just Command and then minus or plus button on your MacBook, it'll actually expand or shrink the window. So now you can see.
Command W.
Just Command plus minus. It's pretty cool. Yeah, with the rollout of 12, they added a lot of new MIDI devices that are really sick.
So mixing, now one thing I can't live without. You can split. I had no idea. You can split the screens, right?
Oh, yeah, you got the mixer view.
I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah, Command Shift.
Are you kidding me? So.
Yeah, if you Option Command M on a Mac or
Shift Command W.
Shift Command W will open up a whole new window that you can drag to your monitor.
It's a whole
so
new window.
Close it like this in arrangement view, especially.
Yeah, so now I can have my. Yeah. I'm looking for levels, so I have a screen with all my levels, my screen with my, my view.
Mixer controls.
Yeah. Man.
And another thing I've found that's really cool is Ableton is capable of processing video. So you can put video into Ableton, and then there's a bunch of mostly free Max for Live devices that you can make audio sensitive to your video and use audio effects to map to your video.
Yeah, you just Shift Command V to open up that video. I know people who edit some like video for like social media promo and stuff. They'll just drag the video into a take lane.
Oh, really?
On a track, and then they'll just do cuts to the song in arrangement view, so they can like just make really quick cuts.
Exactly.
And have it like switch different videos if they drag like 5 different videos and 5 different take lanes.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, take lanes was definitely one of the biggest moves that Ableton ever made, I feel.
Oh, it's pretty sick. I mean,
as an instrumentalist, like I needed that.
Yeah, comp tracks have been around for forever. I mean, it's
not
actually surprising Ableton didn't adopt that earlier.
Yeah, until 11, I think.
Yeah, they should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah, that was one feature that changed my whole production process. I'm a trumpet player and work with Toma as a guitar player. And
Yeah. I mean, you're a great instrumentalist. You play sax. What all the instruments do you play? You play a lot.
I play keys, trumpet, and like I guess finger drumming, finger sampling.
All the finger stuff.
I like fingering. The UWI, the electronic woodwind instrument.
What kind do you have? What kind of UWI do
I
you
got the Akai UWI USB. And so basically I'm able to map within Ableton like how hard I blow in it can change the rate of a wobble bass or the rate of an arpeggiator or
the 5,000 or like what kind is it?
It's just the Akai UE
Is this it
USB.
right
No, that is mine is almost broken, so this is probably going to be the next replacement. Yeah, the USB, that one. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you've got.
But so then you can like map everything from how hard you blow into it to like a bite pressure on the mouthpiece. It's like got a rubber mouthpiece instead of like a wooden reed. And like you can also change what mode it's in from being like saxophone fingering to clarinet to flute to custom to what I use is the trumpet fingering, and I use a custom trumpet fingering so that it kind of mimics what a trumpet does with just 3 fingers, but then another finger or 2 to change the register of it. So basically playing it like a trumpet, but 1 or 2 fingers to change what octave or what register it's in.
I mean, you do that on a MIDI controller anyway, a small MIDI controller, you probably jump octaves anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool. Does it have onboard sounds or it's USB, so it's probably you're playing a plug-in, right?
Yeah, so the one before the 5000 has onboard sounds. This one doesn't. The one I use does not have onboard sounds. So everything I have it going through is mostly massive.
Really? You're playing massive with this?
Yeah. And then also just MIDI mapping like the bite pressure, the blow pressure, etc., to like what the sound will vary through. So I have an instrument rack full of I think it's 8 or 10 instruments, and then I have a knob mapped to that. And when I change that knob, it changes what sound I'm going through.
Yeah.
And then whatever sound I'm trying to play has its own individual mapping to how hard I'm blowing or how hard I'm biting on it, and will make it wobble faster or sound brighter or make it like modulate different effects on it. So yeah, some of them are wobble rate, some of them are the reverb on the back, and it's all based on how hard I'm blowing or how hard I'm biting on it. Modular, very, very dynamic, super live. I use Massive just because of how easy it is to assign MIDI controls. Like,
okay,
I can easily map. I mean, I could do the same with Serum, which now, shout out Serum. Serum 2 is the fucking coolest thing that's ever fucking happened. Like, I
mean to cut you off. I found the company. It's Audio Modeling. These are the guys that make expressive wind instrument plugins.
Okay, yeah,
They make
send me this link, but
Swam. I saw a guy play the most realistic. He was playing the most realistic sounding saxophone.
Nice.
Using a wind instrument. And this is probably in 2017.
Okay, yeah, dope. So I use like native instruments to play like anything real, like actually, honestly, the flute is through Massive. The saxophone that I play live is through native instruments. But one thing, send me this link. Cool. One thing is really cool with the UWI is you can do anything. It's MIDI.
Yeah.
So you can make a drum rack, and I can make a drum rack that's wobble bass here, vocal sample there. Every single note is a different thing, and you can play it. The problem is no one knows what the hell you're doing. So and then they're looking at you doing this, and I'm like having so much fun doing so much dope shit, and no one knows what is even happening.
Well, I think that like they don't need to know the tech behind it, but I think that people actually do see you doing something on stage, and they associate that with the sound. I think the thing with DJing is a lot of times people don't really have any idea what you're doing because they can't really see what's actually happening.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you're holding like a giant long stick in your mouth, people assume like he's
That's
making
what-
sound right now.
That's what someone said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's
Okay, buddy.
All right. We're gonna have to cut you off for that. It's Japanese whiskey. No, but this
Shout out
is
Toki.
shout out Toki. But yeah, no, shout out Audio Modeling. They reached out years ago and I've heard amazing things and I've seen it in action. It sounds really good.
Yeah, cool. Definitely send me this. I'll check it out.
We don't have to go deeper than that, but
Yeah, no, it is one of my favorite things to do live is play the UI, and like
yeah.
I found an appropriate speech to give when I need to be like, you guys might not know what this is doing, so let me just give a few examples of what it's doing, and I play the flute and the saxophone and then dirty wobble bass, and like then that's when it clicks. It's like I can do anything with that, and people will understand like, oh, he's playing a bass right now. Like so.
I mean, any kind of crowd engaging anything visually, I think, is really useful. Unless you're playing like a massive festival with like 5,000 people and they can't even see you anyway. Like,
yeah.
there's something about that engaging the crowd where it brings people into the experience, and I think that's people really love that.
I think that's a good next topic too, is like performance wise and like where we're at and where we're going to.
And like I'm a very sample heavy bass producer. I sample a lot. Like a lot of what I do is what I hear, what I like. When I could be watching, I was watching Severance
Such a good.
the other day. I was in Croatia watching Severance in some Airbnb, and there was a song. It was like a Apple TV.
It's such a good show. I like it.
Some of the film on it is crazy. I'm like, how'd you shoot this? But there's a song that comes on, and I'm like, oh, that did it for me. Why? I don't know.
It
I
hits
never
the
know.
spot. Yeah, strikes the chord.
So I pull out my phone, I Shazam it. What do? I take it. I'm on the plane the next day. I sample it. I flip it. It's mine. And like, I pitch it. I pitch it down. I do all sorts of stuff. But like, that's how I find music that I really like making. I'm not. I didn't grow up playing piano. I didn't grow up in guitar lessons. I grew up listening to Pretty Lights and watching some person that I was like, how are you flipping all this music that I really love? And that's where it really came from. It was like, how are you incorporating all this hip hop that I grew up skating to on 411 Video Magazine with Talib Kweli and Gangstar and
Shout out.
and beat nuts and all this shit, which is already samples of samples of samples.
Sample inception.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I hear samples where I'm like, oh man, that's that song. Oh, no, that's that song of a song of a song before that song, and
That's true.
I start finding this stuff out as I get older. And, it's not like I'm that young or anything. I'm 34 years old. And so
You're young.
you start seeing those samples being used, and it's funny. Like one of the songs he made recently, he released a song recently, "Finna Act a Fool" with Medicinal, and he showed it to me, and I was like, "Shut up! I just used that same sample." Like they all just mingle together and collide together, and like I don't. It's just funny that
So like live production
The
stuff,
source.
like I play a lot like on decks, on boards. When I was young, I used to have an APC 40 like on a little slate so you could see everything I was doing because everything I would play was stemmed out.
So the crowd could see it.
It was all stemmed out: drums, bass, synths, vocals, samples, yada yada yada. With a
that's
live
still how
drummer.
I perform right now.
Yeah, and I don't do that anymore. But like a lot of room for error. But like that's what I used to do.
A lot of room
like,
for live, though.
a lot of room for live was I wanted you to see that every single thing that was going on was I was making that happen. Now I do it much differently, but yeah, that whole stemmed out production in Ableton Live, where I make it an arrangement view and then I bring it back to stems and then I play that live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as long as you're having fun and enjoying yourself on stage,
Happy place.
that energy translates to the crowd. And I would say most people have no idea, even if they're seeing that,
Yeah.
they have no idea what's
Exactly.
happening.
Agreed.
They don't know, but they can see how much fun you're having on
Exactly.
stage. And
It translates,
and that
for sure.
absolutely.
Exactly.
It 100% does. I tried something pretty risky, but I was having a blast doing it. I sampled the crowd real time at Larimer Lounge.
Dude, that's an
And
amazing.
I threw it into a drop, and I was like, this is either going to be the best moment of my set, or it's going to be the worst by far.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be an in between. It's going to be great or it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And it turned out great, and people loved it because they felt like they were part of the show in some way. And
Right.
it was
Man,
awesome.
I watched a lot of videos of that set, and it looked really
Like
fire.
we've
thanks,
only
dude.
played
Really fire.
two sets together, one at the Larimer Lounge Ski House and then one up in Fort Collins.
I was at both.
And
Great.
the Larimer Lounge, we showed up. I mean, I put together that show. I threw the show basically. We showed up, didn't know what we were setting up to, didn't know what we were going to do.
Linked our computers on a hotspot.
Yeah, had to
Oh my
use.
God, dude, that makes me so nervous.
dude. And so
Actually, I
so my
talked-
computer
It
didn't.
worked great, honestly.
No, did it? My
Yes,
computer,
it did.
my computer didn't fucking work. Like my computer was like, can't do. My keyboard wasn't locking in. I played it. We had a Pretty Lights flip that we played, and I was playing this certain keyboard part on my computer keyboard. Like,
You want to hear it?
it was not like
Sure. Well, we got to set you guys up with a private network with a router to make sure that it's like super
Well, so
secure.
After that, then the next time when we played in Fort Collins, it was like, let's not do that again. Let's simplify it and make it easier.
Well, actually, I brought you guys up as a use case in the last 2 podcasts. I think I talked about like how nervous it made me using like a hotspot or a local network or using the Wi-Fi of a venue. I was like, I saw my friends the other day, like
You're on bar name.
Don't do it.
yeah, get yourself a router. You can get a cheap one at Goodwill, probably.
You know, I met you there. I think that was one of the first times.
Was it the first time we met?
You know, I met
The ski
you.
house.
I met you at one of our when Jordan started doing. What were the like open?
Oh yeah. We had what was
that called again?
At your mom's house. We
Yeah.
were having those sessions where
I
people
want to
could
pick them back up.
Rinse and roast.
rinse and
Rinse
roast.
and
People were
roast.
showing up and just sharing tracks.
That's where I met you.
On the speakers
I'm
of the
gonna pick
venue.
those back up at a new venue for sure.
That was super fun, man. And people love sharing their own tracks they're
Yeah.
working on
And
an actual live
hearing them
venue.
on a real sound system.
Hearing them at a live venue.
Getting feedback from other dope producers.
Yes, that was
Those were great.
Take that back up.
We should
I
do
met a
that
lot
again.
of people through that, man.
I did too.
Yourself?
Definitely pick
Like-
that back up.
We need more community events like that. I feel like with what we do,
It seems simple, but community's huge, man.
it is.
As you get older, community's key.
It really is,
It's-
man.
It's really crucial to like everyone, yourself. It really is a very pivotal part.
brought
of
together in this
everything.
one
That's
thing.
true. We might not be sitting here today.
We wouldn't, man. You know?
We didn't
Like,
have events
Yeah.
where we got to plug each other and get to know each other and listen to each other's tracks.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. You guys need to come to the beat off events that we've been doing. We get together and we beat off once a week at Import and Big Nut Chuck, Denver, Colorado. We have a handful of producers, probably like 15 or 20 of us that meet up once a week, and
beat off.
we
Circle jerk or like what's the formation?
we take we all sit on the couch and we all like beat off together. It's a lot of fun. We learn a lot. We get a sample pack. We have to make a track in 60 minutes.
Dope. That sounds amazing. Yeah,
And
let's do that.
it puts you under the gun of like, okay, I've got to perform.
Yeah, I remember Rob telling me about that because I invited him to come to a session with me and Tyler. We meet every Wednesday.
Okay.
So
Usually it's Wednesdays.
I
or
remember
Thursdays.
I remember inviting Rab, Homemade Spaceship, to one of our sessions, and Rab was like, "Oh no, I'm going to beat off with the homies."
yeah, I've never been invited. Why haven't you invited me?
Next week.
Let me know. All right, I think we got to wrap this up pretty soon. I think Charlie's heading out of the studio pretty fast.
Okay.
But
if we want to touch quickly on some visual stuff, like
sure,
yeah,
go ahead.
I guess a quick plug. If we can put my computer
Yep, there
on
you
board.
go.
So we're doing the Keep the Stream Alive. It's called Keep the Dream Alive, but it should be called Keep the Stream Alive. And so I do visuals as well on top of the music stuff. And like one of the main things is basically bringing the concept video, like 1 or 2 angles of a video, into Adobe Premiere and using layers to then make more visually enhancing moments. So Tyler and I have a set together on the stream. He has his own set. I have my own set. I'm releasing What the Funk Volume 3 on it. And just like as a quick, I guess, preview. So, what I do is just layer things up, and
you're using Premiere?
Yep. Premiere.
Adobe Premiere.
Shout out to Adobe.
Shout out DaVinci. I gave up on Premiere. I'm using DaVinci.
$400 something a year.
DaVinci's free.
Fire and free.
And awesome.
Shout out my mom who still has the fucking educational email. So I get it for
Shout out to
I got this CU Boulder discount, dog.
UNC.
Shout out to the moms out there supporting our music careers.
For real though, shout out my mom. She just got knee surgery today, so.
Oh, thoughts and prayers, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, just making layers and doing stuff, and like I find this to be one of my next best passions. Is it's just like making music, but not. It's adding a timeline to a photo or a video, and you can see here like automating certain effects. Like you can see it on the screen here. Like these are, and then here's the prompt I made with AI. Bottle of tequila morphing into characters from Rick and Morty in a landscape of rainforest, mushrooms, waterfalls, and toadstools.
It's a great title name.
And so,
yeah, it's trippy.
Layering AI with my own individual layers and making it real, but
shout out Adobe.
Nice. So you're just like doing keystone automation?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Like same as Ableton.
Yeah.
In here. And so whenever I'm stuck in Ableton, if I'm ever feeling writer's block, I flip over to video work. And it's just like a way to get away from making music but staying productive. It's the same to me. It feels so similar. It's just a lot of the same processes, layers, automation, like all of it feels the same, but it's differently productive.
Nice.
If I'm stuck in music, I can make video.
What day is your actual Keep the Dream Alive set happening for both of you guys to shout out? Maybe a pause real quick so people can hear.
Tyler Adriance is playing on Friday.
11th? July 11th.
Yep, exactly. And then our set together is on Sunday evening, or Sunday night. I'm playing at like some obscure time, 6:35.
I'm also playing Sunday the 13th.
Yep, perfect.
July.
It's gonna be back to back homies.
Yeah, all the homies. Yeah, shout out to Keep the Dream Alive Music Fest.
Shout out Butler, like for real.
Jacob
doing so much
putting
work
it together. It's a charity stream for the cause, helping urban children in Detroit, right?
Yeah. They stopped the funding of education for music in Detroit because of tax policies and blah blah blah.
So dumb, dude.
So the stream keeps the dream alive and allows those children who no longer have access to music education.
Man, I would kill to have, when I was like, say, even in junior high or like, elementary school, even high school, I would kill to have any kind of music tech program.
For sure, bro.
That would have been amazing.
We
back in the day.
We were just
I guess before that existed.
fucking around, man. I had to figure out rewire and reason and Ableton and yada yada yada. It doesn't matter, but it's nice. Anytime. I had a good jeweler buddy come to me the other day, and he made this track. He's like, "Yo, this is the first time I touched Ableton." He sent me this track last night. It was like 1 a.m. And I listened to it and I was like, shout out Jordan Cozy. We love him.
Okay.
And I listened to the track and I was like, wow, you know what, man? Like, obviously you're a very smart kid. You do diamond pave laying.
How old is he?
Charlie's probably about my age, maybe 30, in between 30, 34, something like that. And he sent me that track and I was like, holy shit, dude, this is really good. And I was like,
Nice.
why don't you come over and let me save 10 years of your life in 5 hours?
Yeah, it's insane with the access of like education now on YouTube and stuff. Like, there's like kids who are
like this.
there's kids who are 16 that are making tracks that I would love to make.
dude, it's insane.
Speaking of visual stuff, I found this on Instagram the other day. It's a little older, but I was blown away, and I just want to share this with anybody
Yeah.
who's interested.
So,
making real-time AI visuals in Touch Designer is like next level right now.
Touch Designer will be how a lot
Watch
of my
this.
visuals are.
One of my best friends I'll shout out is Aji's visuals, and he's just starting to touch into.
Check this out. What they're doing. This is mind-blowing.
So insane. Right here, I am running the Touch Designer Stream Diffusion integration from .simulate. And this is generating AI images, or image sequences to be precise, at around 16 frames per second, which is just ridiculous. And if I change the prompt here to something else like, I don't know, robot, boom. And this works with any live input, meaning this can also take live camera feed and stuff like that. So that's just crazy to me.
He's running Touch Design Stream Diffusion integration from
And you can live camera feed it too.
Yeah.
So Pretty Lights does that. I think Anti-Alias is the visual designer's name. My buddy Rick Aji's visual is starting to use this. Some of the stuff that will be on the stream next week is through.
It's like reactive through Touch Designer. Yeah.
You just literally prompt it. Hey, I want a robot. Hey, I want a dog
Live,
with my face.
live.
Or you can write your own code and throw it in.
Yeah.
Live feeding a prompt into that. It's like, that's so crazy.
Just real time showing whatever you want in that moment with effects.
An LD at a show and like type in a new prompt. And then it's absolutely nuts.
I think we got to wrap this up pretty soon. Any new tech or music tools that you've found recently that are interesting?
Besides for Cracked, homie who's building MIDI generated bass, like it'll generate it right into MIDI. Shout out that guy, Cracked, Kick and Bass. Those guys are crazy.
That's cool.
It's really actually phenomenal. I know how many hours those dudes put into it, and it's really phenomenal. But honestly, like dig into sound design. Don't get too wrapped up in generators and things like that. But there's plenty of cool tech out there, and utilize it as a tool. Yeah. I utilize Uno and Studio. I make my own samples.
I was gonna say one thing that maybe like as
called?
a quick last
Uno
topic,
and Studio. They got sued by Sony.
SUNO.
Udio.
Suno.
Suno.
Yeah.
SUNO.
Suno.ai.
That's kind of like a last topic we could
and then
talk about.
Udio. UDIO.
Yep.
It's like an unlimited creative vinyl.
Yeah.
Make your own samples. Go for it.
Prompt a sample and use the output. It's royalty free. It's incredibly beneficial. I think anyone who's hating on any artist who's hating on AI is just missing the ball. Like
absolutely.
You can use it to benefit you. If you don't, you're gonna fall behind.
Yes.
And,
it's a great tool.
I hate AI. I love AI. It's just it's scary. It's beneficial. People should use it for what they need to do. Yes. And I
agree.
Don't get me wrong. Spotify is definitely juicing up bands, running up streams with totally AI-driven bands. As you can see, there's one all over the internet. I won't mention who they are, but of course they're going to do so. Why wouldn't they? But use it as a tool. It's an unlimited creative vinyl. It's amazing.
Last night I got hit with an Instagram ad for midiagent.com.
Oh, this shit's sick.
And this is pretty cool. I've been playing with it a little bit today. I've had mixed results, to be honest with you. I'm sure it'll get smarter. I'm sure it'll get better. Prompt. It's pretty new. I prompted it and asked it to write me a melody in the style of funky jazz, similar to an artist like Pretty Lights at 90 BPM. It should be a catchy melody. I actually also asked
I
it
fall
to
asleep
create
too.
a bass line. Actually, that's the wrong one. But basically, it's a VST. You can download it, and then you ask it or prompt it, and you choose the key, the scale. You can use their model, which is a subscription service. I think the plugin you pay like $30 or something to download the plugin. But you can. I use OpenAI because I already have an API key. He told me, I actually talked with the developer of this last night.
On DeepSeek.
He said Gemini and Anthropic work the best for MIDI generation right now. So that's cool to know.
But so it outputs just a MIDI clip.
But you can create a MIDI clip
use
with
your
it,
own sound.
and you can also do audio to MIDI. So I tried just asking it and prompting it to make a MIDI clip that was like a bass line, and it create like at 90 BPM that was like a Pretty Lights funky sound, and then I just used Trillion, the real sounding bass guitar sound, and it just created this for me in the key of, I think it was like F major or minor. And it worked fairly well. This is the bass line it made.
You can't see the MIDI. Did you do any editing? Or
No, I didn't edit it at all. I just busted this out.
Yeah.
So
I've gotten the hard way from making kick
in my head
drums
and
out of Maelstrom, and like now we have this, and it's great.
yeah, it's cool. The audio
Awesome.
to MIDI was actually better than Ableton's audio to MIDI.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that because I basically asked it the same thing, and I said, here is the sound of a splice sample pad. I wanted to rip the MIDI out of it.
Dude, put a boom bap.
So this is the sample from Splice.
Nice little harmony pad sound. I'm hearing that with the bass and the boom bap drum line.
And then I ripped out the MIDI and it just created this.
Yeah. I wish that's one thing I wish
It's
Ableton
almost
had, is
sicker, honestly.
combined notes, like a combined note.
Yeah, you can combine those notes if you want to.
So we put those together with the freaking drum line.
Yeah, so it's just crazy, dude. I think that I genuinely believe we're 2 years away from this being flawless.
Yeah.
Of just 2 years from now, I think we're going to have MIDI and audio generated samples that are just going to be so insanely accurate and just good with generating or just ripping MIDI from audio or just creating something from scratch. I think it's going to happen real soon. I know we got to wrap this up. Upcoming projects that you guys have that you want to share, shout out, upcoming shows, whatever else for people to follow you.
We are 7 or 8 tracks deep, and we have our kind of new formula of the new disco meets Tipper and Friends type vibe. Like it's just new housey poppy shit that then drops halftime dirty.
Cool.
We're super stoked about most of the stuff we're sitting on. We've got EP we're calling 3001. It's all of Dr. Dre's 2001 songs remixed in our style. So yeah, Explosive and Bang Bang and 4 or 5 of the 2001 classics, which is funny. He made that in 1998 and called it 2001. Shout out Dr. Dre. Yeah, we've just got a lot of music individually and as a collaboration. We're gonna start pumping and dumping and try to keep things rolling in a good direction.
Yeah, that's what the world needs.
In a missing reflection. Yeah,
I'm excited to hear it.
Really cool.
Cool. I can't wait to hear it, man. Well, thanks, guys, Jordan, Tyler, for hanging out.
Thank you.
SayWhat and Adriance together. You guys are Missing Reflections. Much love. You guys stay tuned. See you next time. Peace.
Much love, Ableton.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you don't hate me or the podcast, please leave a 5-star review, hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're listening, and it would really help me out. If you want to be the first to get new episodes, updates on events, some free downloads and stuff, Go to abletonpodcast.com and make sure you enter your email, subscribe to the newsletter. I'll do my best to send you cool stuff. Check back on Tuesdays for brand new episodes. Make sure you go follow this guest for spending their time and energy hanging out. If you have any ideas or strong opinions about the podcast, please let me know. Just shoot me a message. Go to abletonpodcast.com, scroll to the bottom, send me a little message, and I'm happy to make this the best I can for you guys. Much love for listening, and I will see you next time.